Hello everyone, I am Boofire191, and today we are talking about the original Mandalorians, the race known as the Taung. The Taung was a race of sentient humanoids who resided on Coruscant alongside the Gel, or humans, as they're known today. The race was warlike and spent much of its early years fighting the Gel. With that said, at some point, a massive supervolcano erupted on the planet, killing most of the Gel. Time passed and the Gel repopulated, and eventually kicked the Taung off Coruscant. The Taung took this well, and settled on the planet of Rune. One thing I want to note, there was a small group of Taung who split off from the main group. They were priests or something close to that, and they'll be important a little later. Now, time passed, and the king of the Taung, Mandalore, rallied his people and conquered a new world. It was later named Mandalore in his honor, and the Taung adopted the name of Mandalorian, which meant sons and daughters of Mandalore. So again, time passed, and keeping with the tradition of Mandalore the First, the new leader became Mandalore the Indomitable. Time may have passed in between there, but this is the next Mandalore we know of. So this individual did something a little different, and he started taking in non-Taung as Mandalorians, which essentially saved the Mandalorian race, but I'll get to that in a moment. At this point, this is where the Taung species history ends, and that of the Mandalorians begins. You see, Mandalore the Indomitable joined the Sith in the Sith Wars with Exar Kun and Ulic Qel-Droma. He was killed on Duxon. During the Sith War, a vast amount of Taung were wiped out. Now, cutting to the Mandalorian Wars, Mandalore the Ultimate took up the title of Mandalore right after the death of the Indomitable. So, he picked up his mask on Duxon and declared he was Mandalore. He established a training base on Duxon, rallied the clans, and vastly increased the amount of aliens in their ranks. This led to a new generation of Neo-Crusaders, as they would be called, and ultimately, they would be the legacy the Taung would leave behind. Before I go on, I want to point something out. The two previous Mandalores were Taung, not human, as I first believed. Mandalore the Ultimate led his people during the Mandalorian Wars, but the destruction of Malachor V sealed the species' fate. On the planet below, there was a massive ground battle waging between Jedi, Republic, and Mandalorian forces, and when the Jedi Exile said activate the mass shadow generator, I think it was, the super weapon, it destroyed the planet and everyone on it, meaning millions of Mandalorians died in the process. Now, with the destruction of that world and the heavy casualties of two wars, the Taung species just did not have enough people to repopulate, and they died out, leaving the Neo-Crusaders and Canderous Ordo to pick up the pieces, which is kind of interesting considering Canderous Ordo would be the first human and quote-unquote alien species to be Mandalore. Now, as for the Taung who fled Coruscant, as I stated earlier, for the unknown regions, a long time ago, they were all female members of the Sorcerers of Rand, I guess Sorceresses of Rand, a priest group. Now, Wikipedia contradicts itself and states that they either fought or merged with a death cult, but I don't really know what exactly happened. The specifics of what happened to them is unknown, but since they were all female, it's pretty safe to say that they all died out. So, that's all I have for this little mini video today, kind of the history of the Taung. I hope you guys like it. Tell me what you thought down below. Have a good day, y'all. Peace out.